Hello citizens, this is Vassy, and I want to talk about Mining 102. I'm sure many have seen the wide array of Mining 101 how-to vids out there. This demo assumes you know how to fly ships, you have the mining basics, and are ready to move ahead. If you haven't seen any of the Mining 101 videos, I would like to recommend the one out by Noobifier1337. He goes a step or two beyond and gives you an excellent start. In the latest Calling All Devs, it was asked if one could do their activity in peace without PvP. With regard to mining, you can drastically reduce risk through situational awareness and proper prior planning. So let's start with some proper planning. It's all about location, 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 and literally keeping a low profile. When you arrive at your mining moon, pick out a shelter to quantum jump to. Stay away from populated areas. As you approach the shelter, check out the terrain. Look for a deep valley and head toward it. Once you are just above the ridgeline, deploy mining gear M key by default. Mining gear out puts you in precision flight mode, same as the landing gear down. Get as low in the valley as you can with ridges above you to port and starboard. You are now employing terrain as partial visual and scan cover. Do not broadcast your location by scanning. Let the mining gear passive scan for you. It works great. Occasionally look at your radar to see if anyone enters your area. Now that we are on location, let's take a look at what the HUD is telling us. Mining 101 vids already cover laser throttle, rock energy, frac sensor, overcharge, and cargo. We will move on to the upper HUD area. For fracking, there are two reticles that must coincide over the rock to give you information. The larger white fixed reticle is your scan reticle. The smaller blue movable reticle shows where your mining laser is pointed. Both the ship and the laser must point at the rock to get information. Looking to the upper left, you will see the energy transfer graph. I'm still learning about that, so we'll save that for Mining 103. Just below are instability and resistance calculations. Instability will determine the rock energy level graph, the green bandwidth, and mining difficulty. Higher number, narrower green path, more difficulty. Resistance determines the amount of energy needed to frac the rock. Total energy output is determined by throttle and distance to the rock. On the right side of the HUD, you will see a mass indicator. Mass is a determination of the rock size. This will make more sense as you further frac each rock to smaller extractable sizes. Basically, you're splitting the rock up into prospector bite-sized chunks. One or more minerals with percentages will be listed below the rock mass. The higher percentage means you make more. Put another way, if you have 20% of material identified as minerals, you have 80% of inert material worth almost nothing. With the scan complete now, let's take a quick look at the numbers. With instability at 0.66, notice the larger area of the graph is red with a very short range of green. This red area is the overcharge area we want to stay clear of. Resistance is only 0.32. Notice the very short empty portion of the graph indicating very little energy required. We won't begin fracturing until energy touches the green band. Let's speed up this part so we can see the fracture process begin. With the throttle set about as high as I'm comfortable with, I'm going to focus on using distance to fine-tune the throttle, so to speak. So as we discussed earlier, distance has a big part in how much energy is put into the rock. This wasn't my best, but it gives you a good look at what it's like to kind of fight that band back and forth. The band I'm talking about is a rock energy level. Trying to keep it in the green without overcharging. Your goal, obviously, is to go ahead and crack the rock. Perfect fracture, the rock will just split apart and will fall right in place. It won't go anywhere. Right about now, I'm wishing I had not mined this rock on the hillside. You're about to see why. The level of detail in this game is incredible to say the least, and it's getting better. Gravity and physics, as an example. Here we see gravity taking my fractured rocks down the hill, where I'd have to change them and lose productivity in the process of fracking them. Fortunately, I was left with enough material here to go ahead and frack out most of the rest of the load that I got. Once the large rock is fractured into smaller chunks, the HUD will show us only one very important change in the rock data. The mass will have decreased significantly. Notice the mass is now less than 700. On the first fracture, it was over 4,000. This decrease reduces overall rock energy required for subsequent fractures. As you can see, I am using less than 30% throttle now versus the more than 80% on the first fracture. I am easily able to roll on and off the throttle to control the energy level. Let's move over to the sun side of Daymar to a new rock and demo the rock painting method. As you will see, we get the energy level up quicker and simply move the beam on and off of the rock while in the green band. Once mastered, you should be able to frac very quickly. As you can see, with the throttle at 100%, I don't have enough energy to get this rock fracked. So I'm going to have to move in closer, causing the energy level to go up as I get more of my laser energy into the rock versus dissipated in the air gap between the rock and the ship. Once I get the necessary energy level, we'll begin painting the rock to finish the fracture. I'm using this painting technique to manage the beam versus throttle or range. Notice I'm staying in the green band, I'm not getting overcharged, and the fracture continues to progress all the way to the end. While I once again got an excellent fracture with no overcharge and no fling, we see here gravity still is a thing. Inertia is a thing, as we see the rocks slide down the hill a little bit. This case was a whole lot better than the prior. Let's stick a pin in mining 102 for now, until we see how the mining mechanics flesh out. I hope this helps you to better understand mining and maybe be a little more efficient at it. Let me know if this helps or if it needs more detail. If you have any nuggets to share, I will gladly incorporate those in future videos. Remember to mine where no one else will likely go. Don't announce your location with active scans. Keep your ship below terrain, head on a swivel, and always be aware of your environment. Thanks for watching.